Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday the 13th of April 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Morgan Greer deck for today's reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Tuesday and what energy is coming up for you. I hope you've had a really good start to the week. Let's see what Tuesday the 13th is about. So first we've got the Six of Swords, the Devil, and the Two of Wands. Interesting. So both these cards are about moving ahead, making a decision to take control of your life and to do something that inspires you and makes you feel passionate and like there's potential for growth and excitement. And the Six of Swords is a journey that you undertake even if things feel negative. You can see this woman shrouded in a cloak. So she's trying to stay undercover, she's got someone helping her, and she's moving forward regardless of bad weather or difficult, heavy cargo that she's hanging on to and dragging along with her. She's going to move forward no matter what. So she's taking an opportunity even if things aren't ideal. And both of those are kind of looking at the Devil. And the Devil card is, it came up yesterday, I think. It's a card that says don't get too focused on the practical obstacles that you're facing. Remember that it's mind over matter, not the other way around. So if computer says no, doesn't mean you can't travel, or you can't enroll in a new course, or you can't find your life purpose. So the Six of Swords says you're going to move ahead no matter what. Swords have to do with thinking, ideas. It's the element of air in astrology, and that element is masculine. So only you can make the decision. Only you are going to say, I am moving ahead with this or not. No one can make that decision for you. And each sword seems like it's something negative that really would ultimately keep her stuck. So she's someone who is doing what she wants despite all of these naysayers and all these negative voices that she's facing. So this could be her mother saying, don't leave me, we'll miss you, please stay home. This could be you haven't even been accepted into the course yet. Why are you moving there already? It doesn't make sense. This could be you don't have the money to travel, just stay put. And all of these swords are things that she's carrying with her, but she's not letting that stop her. And that really talks about real self-belief and real confidence, because she's got no approval. He doesn't approve of her journey. He's not in it for the long haul. She's paid him to get her from point A to point B, but ultimately he's not invested in whether she succeeds or not. So this is all on her. So you really have the ability to take control of your life and to say, I'm going to do this because I care about it, and that's more than enough. The Devil card, we've got this pentacle in reverse. Each point is an element, so earth, air, fire, water, and this is spirit. And when it's this way around, it means that you're letting the influence of the real world govern what you're doing. And you can't really do that if you want to move ahead in your life. So the example I always mention with the Devil is, let's say you are someone who lives in the Black Forest in Germany, okay? And you want to be a fashion designer, but in your local area, you've only got the opportunity to either cut wood or make ceramic pots or become a school teacher. Then unless you believe in yourself and say, I really, really want to be a fashion designer, and regardless of where I live, I'm going to make this happen, so I'm willing to move, I'm confident enough in my own abilities to make this happen, that kind of thinking is going to get you out of the Black Forest and, let's say, will allow you to go to Paris, where you can go study fashion design and become this thing that you want to be. If you look at the circumstances, these are the jobs available to me, and my dreams are really impractical, I suppose, because I can't do this job where I am right now. Then if you go with that kind of thinking, you're never going to be a fashion designer, and you'll end up in the example either making clay pots or being a teacher, because that's all that is there in your environment. So this card says, don't go down that road because it really doesn't do you a service. Aligning yourself with the world in that way and saying, well, these are the opportunities available to me, and just compromising your own dreams is not going to make you happy. In the short term, it will pay your bills, and yes, you have a job and you can stay in your existing location, so it may seem okay, and that's why a lot of people rationalize this. But in the long term, it's not going to satisfy. And if you have this dream of being a creative person, for example, and you take a job that's administrative, sooner or later you will get bored of that, whether it provides you with an income or security or not, because it really doesn't feed into who you are, and it's not a true expression of your authentic self. We've got this little candle here on top, and I really feel that that is the saving grace. So this red circle around the kind of, what is this, goat? It looks like the solar, not the solar plexus, the root chakra to me. And the root chakra has to do with money and security and sexuality. And it forces you to really look at those aspects of life, and it gives them much more importance than they really have. The thing to look at is this tiny little flame at the top, and the way that translates to you is that tiny, small, still voice that resides in you that always speaks the truth. And in that example, again, it says, become a fashion designer. You know, it's really, it doesn't make a lot of demands on you, so it's easy to ignore. And look at the size of this little flame compared to the root chakra here. So the way forward is to really not let your existing circumstances influence your future. Because remember as well, the situation you're in now, you're in because of past decisions you've made. So you may have settled for something before, and that's why you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. If you decide differently today, you'll have a different outcome. You'll be able to move ahead again. And the main thing that you have access to, that's the real gift of the day, is this unshakable self-belief that I'm going to do what I need to do, regardless of what is coming my way, what other people say and think. So it's total freedom in terms of self-belief, which is amazing. And the Two of Wands is also very much about self-belief. We've got this young man. So the message I'm getting from this card today is that you've got this confidence of youth. I don't know what this is called, but there's some sort of personality testing system where you have a box with 4 things, and you can either be unconsciously incompetent, you can be consciously incompetent, you can be unconsciously competent, or you can be consciously competent. And if you don't know what you're doing and you think you're the best, you have no idea that you're inexperienced and you don't know what's going on, then you're unconsciously incompetent. If you realize that you know what you're doing, but you have no self-belief, then you're unconsciously competent. You see, look that up, or someone in the comments, let me know what that system is called. It's a way of people in corporations and things give their employees all these tests, personality tests, so that you can see where you're at. But he really represents the box which says unconsciously incompetent, because he is young, he has no experience, he has a lot of self-belief though, and he feels that he doesn't need to be competent to get into the course that he wants to be in or to do what he wants. He feels that, hey, I'll grow into that anyway. I'll learn as I go. And sometimes you really need that almost arrogant self-belief of youth, you know, of a 17-year-old who says, I'm going to be the world's greatest football player. Because if you don't have that outrageous self-belief in yourself sometimes, you can't make it happen. You need to flip the balance. If you have all these obstacles standing in front of you, then you really need a lot of self-confidence to jump over those obstacles. If you only have a little bit of self-belief, those are likely to keep you stuck. So the great thing about this day is that your levels of confidence are almost outrageous, because he says that it doesn't matter if I don't have the money to get to where I want to go. It doesn't matter if I've got the application letter and been accepted. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do what I want. So he's holding the world in his hand. Usually in the regular tarot, this is represented as the world. And it means that the world is his oyster, really. He can do whatever he wants. Here it looks like a giant pearl, and that is value. So the value he has is not his level of experience or his skill set. It's this unshakable self-belief that he has something innately valuable inside of him, and it's his job to go out into the world and to find experience and to do that so that he can become the person he wants to be. Also, we've got the red flower and the white flower there. That's usually a balance between passion and reason. But I really feel that passion outweighs reason on this day. Or it could be that on some level, intuitively, reason says you have a lot of innate value. So focus on what it is you want, what you see yourself doing, or the role you can grow into. And that really gives him all this power that he needs. The 2 wands are fire. It's a masculine element. It says your life purpose isn't going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You have to kind of go out and get it, or you have to really connect with yourself until you find what it is within. And some people are really lucky at, age 5, they do realize they want to be a fashion designer. And other people at 50 still don't know what they want to do. And they have to try out different things until they find something that they want. Either way, it doesn't matter. The main point is that you're trying, you're moving ahead with your life, and you're saying, I deserve to be happy in my relationships and in my jobs as much as anyone else does, so I'm just going to move ahead. The 2 wands create a doorway. So the card is saying that when you take charge of what it is you want, things will open up for you and you'll be able to move ahead. Both of them are facing the devil here. So the world isn't going to say, oh yes, here we go. Of course, you want something, there you have it. You may have to push a little bit, and it's this self-belief that really allows you to push through the devil, to ignore this root chakra, to believe in yourself and to move beyond it and to get what you want. Number-wise, we've got 6 and 15 is 21. And 2 is 23, 2 and 3 is 5, and 5 is freedom in numerology. So don't listen to no's and naysayers and people who really have no belief in you. Go within. That self-belief is right there at the center of who you are. It may feel really big and natural. It's like, I'm the best and I'm going to prove it to everyone else. It may also feel very small and still, and it's like something you struggle to hear and you have to strain. Whether it's easy and accessible or it's difficult and you have to kind of suss it out, the important thing is to focus on that inner light, because that's really the guiding force of the day, and that's what's going to get you somewhere. Being reasonable and saying, yes, dear, you're right, my dreams are pointless and impractical. I'm going to listen to you and just stay put. That is not going to serve you. And the other thing is that you really have the ability to problem solve, because nothing is going to overwhelm you. You have this amazing self-belief, and that means that if you're making big life decisions or you're just handling little mundane things which you have to work through, as long as you don't focus on the amount of work or the journey lying ahead, and you focus on what it is you want to achieve, you'll get what you want. You'll achieve what it is you want to achieve. So the ball is really very much in your court, and it's important that you decide what is most important to you on this day, that you get your priorities in order and you say, I'm going to focus on the top 2 priorities, and I'm going to minimize all the stuff that really isn't that relevant today, because you only have so much time in one day. And the more you can focus on those things which are important to you, the more success you'll have and the freer you'll be. So have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.